So if you haven't been following, the Washington Post, the LA Times, and the USA Today have come out and said they're not endorsing anybody. Now, Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post, and he's been taking a lot of heat for not endorsing anybody. And a lot of people are saying, that they're taking the coward's way out, etc. And now the Washington Post is saying they don't think they're going to be endorsing anybody going forward after this. Well, Donald Trump took that and said, well, see, they didn't endorse anybody because they think Kamala Harris is just that bad. They're not going to endorse her because she's awful. But, they didn't endorse me because they're afraid of the retribution coming from the Democrats and they're going to be so awful to them. So they're just going to take the middle ground. Well, as we know, almost everything is a confession coming out of Donald Trump. And what I think it is that the Washington Post, the LA Times, USA Today did not endorse Kamala Harris, so Donald Trump doesn't blow up at him. If they would have endorsed Kamala, then Donald Trump would have started bashing him like he's done with Fox News, like he's done with CNN, ABC, CBS. He's gone after ABC and CBS because he had the bad debate on ABC. Now he wants their license pulled. He's talked about going after the moderators from that debate. CBS, he thinks 60 Minutes should be canceled. He wants their license pulled, etc. So I think the reason they didn't endorse Kamala Harris was because they didn't want the backlash coming from Donald Trump. And should he be elected, they wanted to fly under the radar. But they didn't endorse Donald Trump because he's that bad. They didn't want to be associated with Donald Trump either. So they were hedging their bet, trying to say, well, we still believe this narrative that it's going to be neck and neck and either person can win. So we're not going to endorse Kamala because Donald Trump could win and it may blow up in our face if he does win. But we also don't want the negativity from endorsing Donald Trump because of how bad he is himself. And we can see how bad he is. So we're not going to endorse him. So we're just going to stay out of it. Instead of doing the right thing, endorsing Kamala and showing that Donald Trump is not going to win this election. The media has a problem. They want to keep this thing an even race and tell you it's going to be close and do things like this and hedge their bets. It's not going to be a close race. I don't see any way Donald Trump wins the presidency. And I think Kamala Harris is going to win by a larger margin than Joe Biden did in 2020 and probably by even more electoral votes. And there is a chance some Republican strongholds that no one is suspecting could flip. You could see the Republican senator in Nebraska losing. Again, we never would have suspected it. You might see Florida flip. You might see Texas flip blue. It's entirely possible. But these papers don't want to run the risk because they want to keep it a horse race. So only Donald Trump could spin a non-endorsement into a positive form. But it's not positive for Donald Trump. If anything, their non-endorsement means that they would have endorsed Kamala Harris if they weren't afraid of what potential could happen under Donald Trump if he were to win.